Welcome, friends, to another one of our free Friday community classes. This week, we're taking a little bit of a break from the heavy stuff, and we're going to get into something admittedly a little bit more holiday than I usually do, but something that I think is so cool and so overlooked, and that is simmering herbs. Now, there's a few different reasons that we would want to do this, and as I talk here and we get kind of started on the demo, you're going to hear water boiling in the background. That's what that is. It's not my camera's not falling apart as far as I know. It's not an audio hiss, but in this pot right here, we've got some water simmering so that we can actually do some of this work. So two reasons that I love to do simmer pot herbs, especially around the holidays, not necessarily because of the holidays, but because this is a time of year when we're spending a lot of time cooped up inside, right? We're breathing in recycled air, we're a little more sedentary, the respiratory system is a little more lax, and it's, generally cold and flu season, so we're kicking around these respiratory viruses. So this is why I turn to these herbs at this time. And so the first reason is that by simmering medicinal herbs, you are absolutely releasing their medicinal and magical virtues into the air in your home. These herbs are going to move through a space and bring their medicine. They're going to purify. They're going to cleanse. They're going to land on your skin and bring you medicine that way. You're of course going to be inhaling them and breathing them very gently, but still enough for this to be considered medicine to help soothe and cleanse and open and heal the respiratory system. So this is a really beautiful format of medicine for this time of year. The second, and this is just a bonus, right, is that we can choose to work with herbs that really relate to the season, that have that fragrance, the aromatics that remind us of this time of year. So I am for sure always throwing in cinnamon and clove and star anise and bay and coriander and chamomile and chrysanthemums, like all of these plants that when I step into a space and smell them, it reminds me of the deep of winter, right? And another angle too that you could think of, and you can see the blend that I've done for you today, is that we can focus on herbs that have kind of a sunny, warm quality, right? Because as we move towards the winter solstice, we're recognizing that it's time for the sun to start her return. And while that return happens slowly, it's a time of hope that we remember that on the darkest, longest, coldest night of the year, it can only get better from there, right? Every day, the day's gonna get a little bit longer. Where I am, January, February tend to be the coldest months of the year, so it's a little hard to see it, but with the length of the days changing, it's apparent, and these herbs definitely help. So when we do simmer pot, right, herbal simmering herbs, it's very simple. I generally will do about 6 cups of water because I get distracted. I wander away and I don't ever want all the water in the pot to evaporate out and have those herbs sitting in a dry pan cooking, right? That will probably ruin your pot and also will not smell very good. So put ample amounts of water into your pot. I like to use just a little sauce pot. You don't need anything big, but if all you have is something bigger, that's okay too. And I will literally just take a fistful of my blend and toss that in there. Sometimes as the water's beginning to simmer, I'll put the lid on the pot to kind of give those plants a moment to open up and to infuse into the water. And then when there's a really good plume of steam coming from that water, I'll take the lid off and let it fill the space. You can also safely, carefully, take the pan and actually, when that steam is really going, walk around your house and just kind of steam every room, right? And let everybody kind of take a few direct breaths, but really just doing this on the stovetop is enough to circulate it throughout the house, especially if you have, heating, venting, air conditioning, that's kind of pulling things around in your home. So don't overthink it. Choose herbs that relate to the season, that relate to warmth and coziness and comfort, and be aware that even if all you did was work with these seasonal aromatic herbs that we think about, again, the cinnamon, the clove, the coriander, cardamom, I think about calendula, bay, chamomile, eucalyptus, mint, pine, spruce, cedar, juniper. You will, by nature of these herbs being aromatic, be working with exactly the right kind of medicine that you want to work with. So you literally can blend this based entirely on scent that is appealing at this time of year, and you're going to be there. There are pomander traditions where, you know, some of these more spicy aromatic herbs are carried on the person in order to keep disease and plague at bay. So that's something to consider. As we get closer to Yuletide, I definitely love to throw some dried orange, some dried persimmon in here to bring some sweetness into that. So there's also that aspect of it. Juniper berries. I'm actually looking at this little blend that I have here, and I'm trying to remember all of the allies. I did some helichrysum flower. I don't think I mentioned some corn flower. There's dried orange peel, coriander seed, some anise seed as well, because I really love that anisette flavor and scent this time of year. So very, very simple way to work with the herbs this time of year to fill your house with not only the aromatic blessings of the herbs, but also their medicinal. So again, the herbs you want to work with are the ones that are warming, comforting, and aromatic. You can even throw some of the more aggressive herbs in here. The cinnamons, the gingers are fine. Because they're being carried in steam and you're not putting that much in there, they shouldn't irritate anybody's respiratory system. If for some reason you find they are, you're probably putting too much in, which is okay because these are herbs that we really want to smell. You know, but generally they're getting kind of balanced out with the florals and the different sunny colored herbs that we're working with, right? So I'm going to post a close-up photo of this particular blend, which again, you know, I have the privilege of having 300 herbs at my disposal, but you can absolutely just work with the ones that you have access to, the ones that you love. This is the first year that I've really started to put a lot of pine and eucalyptus into my simmer pots, and I've really enjoyed that. So if you have access to those allies, very, very simple. And if you really want to lift up the fragrance, you can of course add a few drops of essential oil. And I say a few because a little goes a long way, and we're really focusing here on releasing, coaxing out the medicine of these plants. So the only essential oil brand that I work with, this is not a plug or a paid placement, this is just me talking straight to you, is Pronarome from Belgium. I will not touch or diffuse or otherwise interact with herbal oils, essential oils from any other company for a variety of reasons. But Pronarome does a seasonal line, and one of them is called Spicy Pomander. They have an Inner Harmony, they have Winter Trees. There's a few other ones that are just really beautiful for the season, and you could easily procure a bottle of that and, you know, again, put a few drops in there, fluff that up, maybe cover it for an hour and kind of let the fragrances mingle, and then grab a fistful and throw it into your simmer pot. This is also, by the way, a fantastic holiday gift. In fact, for folks who subscribe to my Patreon at the Ancient Tracks level, I mailed you out a bunch of this. So watch your mailbox right around the winter solstice. You should be getting a little treat from me, this exact batch, as a matter of fact. So a really fantastic gift to give people to make this up and put it in, you know, cute little sachets with some instructions, and gift the blessings of the plants to the folks on your list. And so without further ado, as we're about to open our apothecary here in Salt Lake City, I'm going to take this nice big scoop of herbs and drop them into that pot, and as soon as that simmer begins, this place is going to smell amazing, and hopefully you will try this and make your place smell amazing too. Until next time, stay warm, take care.